Hello everyone, this is my scrap room as I swivel on my chair from just beside where I usually work. I just wanted to give you an overall look at the layout of my room, how I have it set up right now. I do have some scrap room tours and one that is probably pretty similar to this layout, but I am about to do a renovation. I'm about to change, not maybe a renovation, but I'm going to do a definite big reorg. And so I wanted to show you what's not working that's sparking me wanting to do this reorg. So there are a few things that are not working about this space. This is where I sit when I do my process videos, hello, and the majority of other videos. This is an angle you don't get to see very often, but this is where I work. I have my tools here, I have my markers and pencils here, I have secondary tools there, and I have stuff there. I keep my trimmer right here so that I can put it up out of the way. This is on the wall with just one single screw, so it doesn't stay very sturdy. Normally the camera that you're looking at, this camera right here that you're looking from right now, is usually right here with this, where this jar of pens is, and it looks down and gives me my over-the-shoulder look when I'm doing my sewing machine, is what I usually use this for. Today I'm going to be having it out all over the room as I show you how I have everything set up. It's super hot here today, so pardon me. I'm going to show you where I have everything and also what's not working and why I want to reorganize. I've measured a few things here, and I have some things arriving later on this week from Amazon, and so I'll be able to show you the before, and then I will also share how I'm going to use and decide what goes in some of those things. So I'll show you a during, and then I'll do a scrap room tour at the very end and show you how everything ends up being. My primary objective with this reorganization is to tone down my supplies and to destash is what I'm looking to do. Come with me for a little tour of how things don't work. So this is my Boon organizer. It's from Amazon and I love it. It works really, really well. This is probably the part that is working the best for me. So I really like this here. So it actually doesn't sit on the table. I have it just kind of like dangling off the side here, which is not a part that I like, but it, you know, it works. I'm just trying to maximize my space. I find that when I put it here, I don't have enough room here for the things that I need beside me as I'm scrapbooking. But so over here we have some space, and in that space I have one of these. So this is a super cheap, not very good, I would not recommend it, but it's one of those little tiny plastic things that sit between the edges of your desk and the wall. And I have it here. It's, as you can see, it's super flimsy, but it does a really good job of holding some of the things that I need to just kind of stash out of the way. So I do push it like that so that its edge is showing all the time, and that allows me to keep my embossing, my heat embosser, my little trimmer right there. I keep some mats here and my coffee warmer. I only put it here when it's cold, but my coffee warmer is right there. And then I have my little stream deck right there as well, which helps me change the scenes on my camera. Now, this thing right here, I used to have a whole bunch of them. I used to have, I think, 8 of them all on that wall right there. That's my background when I'm doing therapy sessions, so I didn't want a bunch of punches to be there, so I took those down, but I left this one. This one was always here. It was here as a little place for me to hang some of my rulers and little things that I needed to have access to. Over the years, I stopped using it. Most recently, I had a bunch of washi tape rolls laid out here so that I could grab washi when I needed it. I've only recently decided to start keeping punches back on it again. So I bought it for punches, and now I'm using it for a handful of little punches there. I'm not opposed to the idea of putting more of them down the wall and having all of my punches just kind of nestled in here in this otherwise unusable or not very usable space. If I were to do that, I would need to find another place for some of these other things to live. And I don't love that idea, so I don't know. I don't know what I'll be doing there. The main reason for me keeping this is this. So this tool here, it needs to be over here where I can reach it while I'm sitting here. I need to be able to reach it to quickly and easily change scenes. I do have another one down here, and that's just my cameras. So I do have 5 cameras I'm not using, or I have 4 cameras. I'm not using one of them. Right now I only use 3, but it just those are my main things that I use a lot, and then these are my secondary buttons that I use less often. You can put different pages of buttons on these, so all of my buttons could easily fit on either one of these, but I would have to go scrolling, and I don't want to do that. I just want to press a button and have it be done. So that's why I have the 2. So my markers I keep on this thing, which is mounted to my wall, but it's only attached with a single screw in the center, so it does move like this. I keep my trimmer right on top of it, which is a handy place for it, but it's not the most sturdy place because it does move every time I put it there. I'm afraid that at some point it's going to fall down. I checked it and it seems pretty sturdy other than the fact that it wiggles, but I don't love this setup, but I do like making use of the space on the wall here. Scott wanted to do something more permanent, and I think I just need to let him do that. Over here, I have another one of those Boone organizers that holds some of my secondary supplies that I just want to have on hand. To be honest, I rarely reach for most of that, and I feel like it might be better stored in a drawer. And up there is a little container that doesn't really hold anything. It's a washi storage container from Michaels, but I don't have much in it right now. This is my teleprompter, which I use for work. I do like to be able to use the teleprompter because it allows me to look right at my clients when I'm doing therapy sessions with them. The camera is right behind the place where I'm looking so that I can make direct eye contact with them. It can be very exhausting to do online therapy with people if you can't make eye contact with them. So then I have a little sideways drawer here that serves as a shelf. It holds my Switch, which I use it here in this room for exercise, and I also use it for relaxation. I play Animal Crossing and Zelda. Underneath of it, I just have the bowl that I use for my confetti mixes when I use them, my roller date stamp, a giant roller date stamp, a few other things in there. Behind my monitor here, I have one of those Making Memories embellishment centers. This is really not serving me very well, and I think I have to decide what I want to do with it. Maybe I need to take it down and put something else up instead. Right here, I have this, which takes up a lot of space. So this is my Mac Studio and my Rodecaster, which helps me mix sounds, which I don't actually mix sounds. Right now I'm using a terrible mic because I'm using the mic from my webcam, but usually I do have a good mic, which is this one right here. And it sounds really good without me doing anything to it. So I don't actually need this, but I do, because when I changed to this more powerful computer, there was a problem with the piece of equipment that ran from my mic. It ran between my mic and my computer. There was a little thing that processed it. I don't know how it works because I just learned the bare minimum about how to use it and set it up and left it. But it is for taking the signal from this and putting it into your computer. When I upgraded my computer, that little thing no longer worked. And I did a lot of research and I did a lot of changing things around, and I spent 2 weeks, I think, with almost all of my spare time going towards research and figuring out what to do. And I ended up just throwing some money at the problem because I wanted it to go away. So I bought a very overpowered Rodecaster Duo, which is beyond my capacity for understanding, but I do know that when I plug it in and my mic goes from there to my computer, it all works, which it wasn't before. So I guess that it's worth it. The problem is that every time that I lose power and I have to reset it, I kind of don't know what I'm doing when I reset it, but that's okay. This is a speaker that just dangles from my pegboard, which is not the best way to set up a speaker, but that's the way I have it. So that's something that needs to change. I feel like I need to address the speaker issue in my office at some point, because that's a super cheap speaker, and the sound that comes from my old Mac was excellent, but the sound that comes from this Mac Studio is horrible. It's very tinny, and so I went from most of my life never needing a mic, or not a mic, never needing speakers, because the Mac that I had and the Mac before that and the Mac before that all had excellent sound. This one is horrible. I need to figure out my speaker situation because I don't necessarily want to keep that. So over here we have my Cameo, and we also have my Epson PictureMate Charm over there. I've got another camera, my Caterpillar, and my Tim Holtz mat right here. Up above that we have a pegboard which holds some decorative collectibles and twine and random things. That this is not really serving me very well either, so this might need to change as well. Underneath of here we have two of these pull out caddies. This is my kit caddy that I show if you guys see me do any out with the old, in with the new. You see me using this. It basically comes out and sits here while I'm sitting here the whole time that I'm scrapbooking. So this is very handy. I really like having this. I liked it so much that I got a second one. So this one, it holds my silhouette tools, my cutting mat, my paper for cutting cut files, silhouette mats, my circle cutter pieces. The circle cutter itself is right here. It also holds my punch boards as well. In the top here, we have some extra blades and accessories for my silhouette, scraper tools, and whatnot. There's technology cords and hubs and all that kind of stuff back there. And then we have my vintage typewriter in its case right there. One of the things that I'm not so happy with is these drawers. I don't feel like I'm using them to the best of their capacity. So I want to show you what's in these drawers so that we can talk about what we might want to put in them instead. So each of these Alex units has two shallow drawers and 3 deep drawers. So this is one of the shallow drawers. I really love how this drawer works with these little IKEA inserts, and I love keeping my acrylic pieces, my flare, and my wax seals. I have a whole box that's all dedicated to bows because I'm in love with bows and obsessed with them. And then this is anything that is fabric or fabric-like is in here. This is some resin shapes and some cork. There are a few other things back there. I can't remember what they are, but the thing about these drawers, of course, is that they don't pull out all the way. So in order to make it in order for me to be able to see what's in the back, I put it in a little container so I can pull it out easily. This drawer isn't so bad. I like it. This drawer is more embellishments in these little cups. I have my MTK sequins here. All of my leftovers. I use them every month, but I still have lots of leftovers. I have little acrylic shape, or not acrylic, but little acetate shapes here. I have random puffies that I haven't used. More little acetate shapes that are more, I guess, maybe chunky. These are more frilly, flowery. And then just random miscellaneous like acetate little shapes and stuff. This longer one has some film strips, and then this one back here has just stuff that I haven't used. Oh, I've got pins here. I was wondering where those were. So yeah, there's another confetti mix. This one is by Close to My Heart. And some more bows, of course, bows. Can't have enough bows. And these are some frames. Now, my problem is that I don't really reach for these things very often. I do reach for these, but I don't reach for these things all that often, and I'm not sure if this is the best use of this space. So let me keep going on. It might be, but it might not be. Down here, we have embossing supplies. So I do have a bunch of colored embossing powders. They're all downstairs in a separate drawer because I wasn't using the colored ones very often. I don't really use the non-colored ones. So what I have here is all clear, gray, black, gold, white, in superfine and fine, and with glitter and without glitter and all of that. So that's what's here. I also have a Versamark refill thing here as well. So I can re-ink my Versamark ink pads. My Versamark ink pad is here. My powder tool is here. I've got one of these things and so a bunch of brushes. These are brushes that I use specifically for getting the stray bits of, so these are super soft and this one is super fine. Brushes for getting the stray bits of embossing powder off of something. And this is an embossing marker for filling in lines. I will sometimes use these to collect up embossing powder or glitter or any other thing, so I just keep these here. And then I have these daubers that there's no real rhyme or reason to it other than like most of them haven't been used, and when I need one I just glance and see if there's one. Like if I needed a red, I would use this. I don't know what color red this is, but it's red, so I would use this. I'm not too careful about mixing things because I don't feel like it's a huge problem. These are Ali Edwards, and back here is Mama Elephant. This is my pigment ink, of which I have, you know, I have a set of Ali Edwards and I have one set of the Mama Elephant ones, and that's all that I have of that. Now, this has been serving me quite well. I like having these here. These are all my little albums that have things like my craft dies. So this, I don't think I'm going to change this drawer. It has my craft dies. It has word stickers. It has letter stickers. I have a bunch of them that have letter stickers. We have label sticker sheets here. Some of these are super old. We have Studio Calico labels right here. I have one that's empty and one that has alphabet dies in it. And another empty one. Then I also have this one right here that holds more labels. My label maker is also back there. Way down here, this drawer says miscellaneous, and I have not touched any of this stuff in years, so I think it's time to get rid of pretty much all of this stuff. The only thing that I do use in this drawer is I tend to keep extra packaging for using the packaging technique and extra bits of these sorts of things from my photo paper, the little ends. I use these for masking off photos when I'm doing mixed media on a page, but I always keep a small assortment of packaging for using the smooshing technique. And I also have these are my mist samples for my entire mist collection. And these are my stickles samples, although most of my stickles don't work anymore because I stopped storing them upside down. I should have left them upside down, but I stopped and now they don't work very well anymore. Then beside me, I keep my Ras Cog that holds, well, these are my two Ras Cogs that hold the things that I use the most. So I have my entire stamp collection right here. These are just my scrapbooking stamps. I keep my card making stamps in a separate place because I don't use them very often. And I just have a bunch of these packages of these 4x6 papers holding up the back of this because I don't have enough to fill the whole Ras Cog top. The next level down, I have a close to my heart medium storage container with the lid removed. You do have to cut the lid off and you can't use it again once you do this to it, but it fits perfectly in the Ras Cog. And I have all of my Project Life cards, or most of these are actually not Project Life cards, they're just 4x6 and 3x4 cards from other brands, Kelly Perky, LE Studio, Ali Edwards. So I sort them by color and I also sort them loosely by theme as well. The very bottom of my Ras Cog here has some things that I use. These are my favorite letters. These are my sassafras letters for pocket scrapbooking, and also some 6x8 and a little bit larger pieces of fairly thick cardstock. These are from or patterned paper, but they're from Ali Edwards, and these ones are from Kelly Perky, and they're really stiff, and I like them for putting in as an insert in my project light. Then the other side here is where I keep these little 4x6 bins, and they have my die cut pieces and chipboard pieces that are shapes that I go looking for. So hearts, stars, arrows, labels, flowers, and butterflies are in there. I also have folders that hold stickers that are those, I call those my iconic shapes, like they're the shapes that are pretty neutral that you always want to have on hand. So I keep those there. In the top of this Ras Cog, I have all MTK kit leftovers. So in the front, I have all of the letter stickers that are left over from MTK kits. And then I have frames and other like phrase stickers and chipboard, and anything that's 6x12 goes right here. I just put all the leftovers right here so that I can come looking for them if I need them. These are in one of these 6x12-inch white baskets that I love so much. And then the other side are all of the leftover die cuts, die cut shapes, smaller letter stickers, rub-ons, any other puffy stickers, chipboard stickers, anything that's a smaller size will go here. And the smallest sizes of things go in this little corner right here. And these are in one of these, this is a chipboard. It's made out of chipboard, but it has like a white covering on it, and it's from Martha Stewart, from her home, her office decor line. I have this tray right here that holds all of my themed pocket page supplies. So these are a combination of kits from Kelly Perky and kits from Ali Edwards that are different, have a different theme to them. So tech and leisure, together, unexpected, right, begin, currently, progress, delight. The very bottom there holds my 6x6-inch paper pads, which I literally never use, and I think I'm going to either destash them or maybe put them with some card making stuff in another area. Up here, right above those two Ras Cogs, I have my binders that hold my dies. So these are basic shapes. So I just keep my circles all in the front because that's what I use the most, but then I have all these other shapes. Just basically any basic shapes are in this one. I have interactive dies, mini album dies, and scene setting dies and backdrops, all in those other binders. Here I have all of my 6x8 stamp sets, some of them not the letter ones, but just like phrases, and I don't have a whole lot of them, but I have this many of them. This bin here holds all of my letter stamps. So we have the 6x8 ones here, the 4x6 ones here, and the 3x4 ones here. This is this is my samples for all of the punches that I own, so that I can see before I walk over to my punch area, I can see whether the punches are going to fit my needs. Photos, leftover photos that I might scrapbook. This is all of my 3x4-inch stamps. I never use them, and I should probably destash them, so that might be something that happens this week. These are my enamel dots, which I keep like this. I sort them by color, and I keep them there. This is my little book of codes that I need for insurance companies, and this is the Studio Calico embellishments that came at this silly size that I do not like, so I put them all into this little binder, and it looks really pretty there, but I never use it. Let's look up there. Inks. Usually this gap isn't here. I just had it there for the camera to be, so usually that's pushed all the way over. My sewing machine is over there. I have two sewing machines. I'm flirting with the idea of having just one. I do like having it preloaded with black thread and white thread, so that's why I have two. On top of my ink things, I keep this is my old Hobonichi cousin, this is my current Hobonichi cousin, and these are different journals that I use. Up above, this is anything flat that doesn't have any place else to live. So I have the Misty 12-inch, the memory Misty thing. I have that and a scoreboard. What's on top of the scoreboard? Probably some foam tape, I would imagine. I have these little valet trays that I use for keeping stash in when I'm working on it. I have, like, this is a trimmer that doesn't fit anywhere else, and this is some bubble wrap that I'm keeping for mixed media purposes, and an egg carton the same. On the very, very top, I have the I Am collection, Book of Me stuff, extra page protectors, the Potpourri collection, some Pretty Little Studio stuff. In those baskets, I have mostly mixed media, like palettes and texture and tissue paper and that sort of thing. Way in the corner there, the thing with dots on it is a sewing basket for embroidery stuff. And right below that, in the wicker basket, is my glue gun and glue gun sticks. So let's talk about what is in these drawers. This is where I keep all of my things that I have to grab super quickly. Don't know why that's there. But this would be mostly foam tape, Post-it notes. Obviously, it's not very organized. Post-it notes, my stamp with my name on it. I've got 2 of those. A bunch of basic inks. So my VersaFine Black Onyx, which is my favorite. Then we've got Brilliance Moonlight White and also Galaxy Gold, which is pretty awesome. And back further, I have things like score tape and a few extra things. Second drawer is wood veneer, and I love this. This I'm not changing because it works for me and I love it. So we have all of my wood veneer all sorted into these little bins. These are the bins that I used to have in my old scrap room. They have these little lids on them, and they actually stack so that you can actually, I took off all the little things, but they've got like little clamps so that you can stack them and attach them to each other and then put the lid on the very top one. But I took them all apart and I kept all the little pieces in case I ever change my mind and want to use them as a tower again. But I like them like this. They fit almost perfectly. There's a little bit of layering that has to happen here. Like one has to sit on top of the other in a few places. But other than that, they work really, really well. And then I use this to hold the big pieces. I have a few other things in the back here, like look at this, I'm hoarding some more of these because they don't make them anymore. And I've got bigger frame pieces here and bigger miscellaneous pieces here. And I also have some brads. I don't know why I have brads here. Sometimes you need a brad for a card, like for the mechanism of a card. This is my technology drawer, which I recently cleaned up. Believe it or not, this is it when it's clean. And yeah, that's not much. I do need to keep this. So these 2 I'm not going to change. This is where I keep tools that I have to reach for fairly often, and this has been working for me. I have my Misty tool, and I have my other Misty tool that's bigger than it over here, as well as my Stampin' Up! Stamp-A-Maratus, or whatever they call it, and also my small die cut machine here, and this thing, and some other like threads and stuff that I need. So that works well. I like that it's not too crowded. And then the very bottom drawer is my cleaning drawer, which has paper towel and Kleenex and cloths and that sort of thing. Usually my baby wipes are in there, but when my paper towel roll is too big, they don't fit, so I just put them there. So in this drawer, this is another drawer that I might not be using to the best of its ability. In this drawer, it looks like I'm just keeping photo paper and pads of paper that I do notes on, and my backup ink pad. This does not go here. This goes in my tool caddy. Another backup paper, and what's in here? Oh, here are the clips and one of the lids. I kept these here so that I could show you. These are the clamps and lids that go on the things that my wood veneer is in. So in addition to all of this, We also have some Post-it note things, all of these stamped, cut, and colored images. This is what I do when I go to crops. I almost always just stamp and color when I go to crops because it's something that I can do that allows me to also socialize and not have to think about layouts and pages and design and stuff. This has Post-it notes, paper clips, empty books, a couple of kits that I don't think I'm probably ever going to use, and some Project Life stuff. So yeah, this needs to be overhauled and can definitely be better used. Yeah, this can also definitely be overhauled and better used. We have some chocolate, and we have some pencil cases, and some notebooks, my Delphonics utility pouch, which I keep my Hobonichi cousin in when I'm on the go. Oh look, there's some stamp sets here that I did not know that I had. This is a very good utility bag. I love this pencil case, and I used to keep it out on my counter, like on my desk, and it was great. Maybe I need to do that again. I don't know what's in this. Oh boy, it's a bunch of embellishments. It's a whole bunch of embellishments, you guys. Chipboard and foam and more chipboard. It's like a lot of stuff. I don't want to even think about that. And then we have markers. Yeah, we have a bunch of markers that I don't use very much, and some samples from the acrylics person who makes acrylics for us. So yeah, definitely need to overhaul that. This drawer just has my foam pieces, my little bits of foam that you use for sponging. I have one for each color of ink that I have for distress and distress oxides. I don't know if that's a good use of space for those. I don't even use those very much. Usually I use a brush these days, so maybe I can get rid of those. This is extra supplies, and this serves me well, so I don't feel like I need to change this, other than maybe I need to top it up. I'm getting low on ATG refills, and I'm also low on, yeah, I'm out of Tombow tape runners. Right here, sorry, I'm going to be handheld for a little bit here, so it'll be a little bit rocky, but right here we have my Project Life drawer. This is serving me fairly well. It probably needs to be cleaned out a little bit and honed down, but I use this every time I do Project Life, so I like that. This is projects. I don't know what is in here. Oh yeah, projects that are started and not completed. So yeah, that's not taking up too much space, I suppose. This is mark making supplies. Use this a lot when I'm doing mixed media, but I'm not doing mixed media these days, so I'm not really in this drawer very much. This is another project that was on the go years ago, and I never did finish it, and it's still here. These are my projects that I've finished and need to do a video about. I don't think that there's actually Project Life in that, but we've got our Wheel of Wonder and a few other things. Mixed media pages. This is a piece of paper that has gesso on it. Project Life templates. I don't know what's in there. Doilies. Yeah, do I need a drawer just for doilies? I'm not sure. Office supplies, and down here is sewing stuff. Up here, these drawers are serving me fairly well. These are cards that I've made. These are more cards that I've made. These are re-inkers and envelopes, and these are card bases. This is rub-ons. This is loose alphabets. This is storage bags. I use those a lot, and I need those there. This is craft paint. This is borders. And this is felt and foam. Right down here, I have my cinch. And in here, I have mixed media supplies. In here, I also have mixed media supplies like watercolors and whatnot. Oops, I'm running out of cord. Mostly watercolors in here. And in here, there's also mixed media supplies. On my Clip It Up, I have letters. My small letters, and they're in rainbow order. And then I have bigger letters down here, and they're also in rainbow order. These are flat alphabet stickers, not dimensional ones. Down here, I have some storage containers that I'm not using that I think I might use in this big reorg that's coming up. I have this, which is a pop-in organizer, and I'm putting my Project Life on it. And this is a IKEA box that holds my workout supplies, because I do yoga and some Nintendo workouts in here sometimes. So this right here is a clear container that holds all ephemera for Project Life. This is my Project Life, and then this is a scrapbook album. These are page protectors. These are more things for ephemera for Project Life. In here, we have a few things. Mostly in here are my card making stamps. And I do like them in here because they are self-contained. As you can see, I've got a bunch of junk on top of it that needs to come out. And I'm thinking I might want to hone down my stamp collection for card making and put some paper in there too, so the whole card making supply thing is self-contained. I can take it out, make cards, put it all away, and put it back, and it all takes up only one cube in my scrap room. That's my idea. In here, we have a bunch of weird things, books, and things that don't make sense. So this needs to be changed. In this cube, this needs to be changed too. I've got all this washi that I literally never use. I am very tempted to get rid of all of my washi and just destash it. I really love these storage containers, and so I think I might be using these storage containers for something different in the future. We'll see. There's layouts here. This is layouts as well. These are layouts in page protectors, and these are layouts not in page protectors. What's in here? Stickers. My sticker collection, which you can't see because the cord won't let it go so far. Yeah. So there's my sticker collection is in here, not scrapbooking stickers, but like collectible stickers. And also my art journaling stamps are in there. And then way in here is below all of that is mixed media supplies. We have a miniature room there, which I love. I love miniatures. I have my We Are Memory Keepers typecast typewriter up there. It doesn't work very well, but it is 12 by 12, so I like it for the width. More layouts that need to go into page protectors. My markers are for some reason right here, and then some decorative things that maybe I need to get rid of in order to use the space for something else. I'm just not sure. Let's look in these cupboards. This cupboard holds all of my patterned paper. I keep my patterned paper in these plastic bags, and I use a punch to put a little tab on it that tells me what the collection is. And I keep my paper by collection for the most part. Over here, for example, is ordered by color, but a lot of it is ordered by collection. And my MercyTiara leftover kit paper is all here, and I think I need to do something different with that. Then this is all cardstock, 12 by 12 and 8.5 by 11. This is all mostly Freckled Fawn and also some other brands. And this is all mostly American Crafts and Basil. Down here, in this one, we have my sequin collection. And now that I am having MTK confetti mixes every month, I don't really feel as much of a need to have this kind of sequins. So I don't know if I'm going to keep these or not, or if I'm gonna destash them, or I don't know what I'm gonna do. But I've got those. I also have more for overflow, and I have buttons in here as well. I do really love buttons, so I'm not going to destash those. This is all cleaning and baggies and stuff, and this can be better, this space can be better used, so I definitely want to rejig that space. In this cupboard right here, we have more cardstock. This is Stampin' Up! Cardstock. I think that this is no name. We have art paper and Stampin' Up! Paper here, mostly Stampin' Up! In this cupboard. And then right here, oh boy, what is all this? Oh no, we have a bunch of word phrase stickers that I didn't realize I had. Stickers, yeah, stickers, and more scrapbook stickers and kits. So right here we have vellum and acetate and specialty papers, mixed media stuff, and twine. And right here we have more MTK kits. We have my 12 by 12 stencils in this folder here, and they're all in page protectors like this, so that I can use them easily. They're my larger size. They're not all 12 by 12, but they're larger than my other stencils that are somewhere else. Okay, so let's talk about this area over here. So over here we have some mixed media supplies in these stadiums kind of setups. These are nail polish display cases. I love using them for my scrapbooking supplies. So I have one here and one back there that's elevated on a box. This holds my Liquitex inks as well as my Faber-Castell gelatos. There are some Dr. P.H. Martin's Hydrus inks back here as well. And yeah, so that's what that is. And also some Shimmers products here that I just store upside down so I can see the color of them. All of my mists are right here, also on those similar stadium nail polish things. In here we have my mixed media supplies that are bases, so most of these are not colors. You'll see a couple colors in there because I don't have another place to put it, but most of these are things like gel mat and gesso and pastes and that sort of thing. This is all of my acrylic paints that are not craft paint, so a bit higher grade quality than the craft paint. This is an album I'm hoping to use at some point. So in this drawer, in this cupboard, we have a bunch of different albums. There's some Animal Crossing amiibos and some art journals are over there, and just some albums that I haven't used yet, and some paperwork and stuff in there as well. Paperwork in here, and then this is where I store my scraps. They are in color order. Oh, that's not scraps, that's a collection. But I keep them in these Ziploc bags, and I always make sure that there is something rigid in there, so there's usually one of these. These are Copper Hopper file folders, tabs, and all of my pink scraps just go in here. And then if I ever need pink, I can find what I need. Pink, blue, red, they're usually in rainbow order, but they get out of order the more I use them, so. The last thing to show you are my 3 Ras Cogs that are over there. So this is Ras Cog number 3, 4, and 5 because I have Ras Cog number 1 and 2 right there. So the first Ras Cog here is my, what the heck is on my shirt? Okay, well, sorry about the blob on my shirt. The first Ras Cog here is for my Big Shot. It's basically my die cutting station, which is nice because it's on wheels. I can roll it over here and do all of my die cutting. The Big Shot sits on the top, which is my preferred die cutting machine. Inside, we do have some extra mats and extra accessories. All of my dies are in the second tier, so those are the big ones over there, and then we have smaller ones and cutting mats and whatnot in the other side. And then down here we have various little tools and things. My embossing folders are all right there, and on the back side we have my sticker makers. My next Ras Cog holds my punches. I have my crocodile right here. This top part holds all of my most favorite punches. We've got hearts, we've got butterflies, we have more hearts and butterflies and whatnot. The middle one holds all of my border punches. So let me just move this so that you can see how they look. Has all the other punches that won't fit anywhere else. So lots of these ones. And then when you spin it around, there's more, and the big ones, the big whale ones. And I did save the best for last. So here we have my thicker Ras Cog. This puppy holds every package of thickers that I have. The top is all black, white, and gray. So we have our white, oops, there we go. The top holds black, white, and gray, so we have our white here. I do have a divider right here that tells me where it is, and then this divider tells me that these ones are black and gray moving forward. I don't have a separate divider for gray because I don't know, I just didn't do that. So I do keep multiples of the same thicker in one bag. So for example, there's 2 sets of these, but I just slide them into one bag. You'll see there's 4 sheets in there. You can fit 3, or depending on the size of the thickers, you can even fit 4 sometimes into one bag. I do repackage my thickers into 6x12 inch non-zippered bags so that they just slide in and out really easily. Second tier has all of the colored thickers, so we go from pink to orange to red, because I must have gotten the color out of order, to yellow, to green, to blue, and browns are in the very back. And I do have dividers for each of, oh, you can't see those, but there, you can see that there's dividers for each of them. And if I need a blue or a brown or a green, I'll typically get it from this side. The very bottom has gold and silver, so all dimensional thickers that have gold and silver. Oops, there's a white here. All gold. And then behind it, the last category is rainbow. So any multicolored thickers are right here. Flipping it around, we have all of my stencils are in this. This is just a cut-off magazine rack for 12x12. And I have all of my larger stencils are in sleeves with black cardstock with them, or paper. And then with the smaller ones, I kept the original packaging whenever I could. And then the even smaller ones, I have them all in baggies here. There's a few that don't have baggies, but for the most part, they're all here. This one I think I just haven't put in a baggie yet because it's a new one. And then any ones that don't fit, that are weird or small, I just have in this little baggie right here. I have a bunch of Vicky Boutin ones here, and a bunch of Tim Holtz ones that are on there. They always come with a little hole, so they're on a ring. And then a couple of other random small ones here that should probably be in that bag. So I feel like my stencil storage is working well for me, and like my thicker storage is definitely working well for me. I'm not going to be changing this Ras Cog at all. So I just wanted to show you what my room looked like before I do a reorg. So I hope that that shows everything. I think it does. If I missed anything, just let me know. So this video will be the first of a series that will include this fairly long scrap room tour before, and kind of pointing out some of the things that aren't working for me. And then the next couple of videos will be me pulling apart different things and trying new things. And I don't know how many of those there will be. It kind of depends on how many ideas I have and how long it takes for me to feel like my room is working for me again. And then at the end of it all, I'll do another scrap room tour. So I hope that you enjoy this series. Keep an eye out for the sister videos that will come along after this one. And I hope that you have yourself a really great scrappy week. Bye-bye.